Alright, YouTubers, I'm working on a 2006 Subaru Impreza, and the neighbor's blower motor decided to quit working, and I tested it, made sure I got power going to the motor. However, we got no motor action, so he went to the junkyard and asked for a replacement because looking online they wanted like $250+ for a new one. And the junkyard brought him this. Now, I wasn't really quite sure what to think of all this. I looked on YouTube and all over the internet, actually, for over an hour and a half. I wasn't able to find any real how-to on fixing this particular issue on this particular car. So I am going to give this a go here. Alright, so looking up under the dash, I can see this assembly. So I'm going to unplug the wires here at the motor itself and at the blower resistor, and then try to figure out how to get that unit out of there. Now I've started by, I've already opened the glove box and found some Phillips screws that appear to be attaching the glove box assembly to the dashboard, including one out here on the end. So I'm going to remove that unit and get that out of my way, and we'll keep going from here. So I was able to unplug the heater blower motor itself by depressing the little tab here on the side. Also able to unplug the blower motor resistor. Same thing by depressing the little release tab here on the clip. I've now removed a couple of 10mm fasteners that hold the heater box assembly. There was a nut up there in the corner. You can see I'm now moving loosely. There was also a bolt back here, which I've taken off. Now I'm going to attempt to remove, there's a 10mm bolt or nut up here on top. However, they had the wire clipped over top of it. So I've taken my my little fork pry bar screwdriver here. I have utilized that to pull free the wire harness that was covering that little nut that you see up there. So I'm now going to remove that nut, and hopefully that will allow me to pull the heater box out. I also see now there's a cable here for the inside-outside air exchange. I'm going to have to remove that cable, which it looks like should be just as simple as popping it out of this clip and sliding it off here, which is no big deal. So okay, so I just got done fighting with that little nut up there on the top. Got that removed, started wiggling the airbox loose. Found that I'm going to have to remove this bracket here. So there's a 10mm nut over top of these relays here. Move that bracket down. There's also another one that was on this bottom stud. You can pull this brace right out of the way, and then I'm going to see if I can finagle that box assembly down out of there. No, it's not just falling out. It's going to take a little bit of work. Oh, or maybe it will just fall out. There it is. So we'll set this stuff aside here and pull out the actual blower motor assembly box here that I was looking at a minute ago. And okay, so there's an upper housing portion that I did not get with my junkyard replacement sitting here. So it looks like I'm gonna have to pop loose a bunch of these little tabs that they've got holding those two halves together, and see if I can pop that upper portion off, swap it over to my new replacement box, and go from there. First, I think I'm gonna take this replacement assembly and plug it into the car electrical and just test it before I go through all this labor, just to make sure that I didn't get sold a bad one. You hate to think that that could happen, but unfortunately it happens more often than I'd like to admit. Okay, I got the replacement unit just kind of sitting up in here, just enough that I could plug in the two connectors, turn the key on. So of course we're hearing that infamous Subaru beeping sound, and we'll just turn it, and it looks like we have setting 1, 2, 3, Alright, so we have speeds at all functions. We'll get it back out here and swap that lid over. Okay, so I put the two case halves back together and then snapped that upper portion on there that controls the inside-outside air selection. And then I've got it loosely set back into place. I have sat it on its tabs and just loosely started the nut there, the bolt over here on this end, and then the nut that's up inside there, if you can see it. It's behind the wiring harness, but looks like everything else will just be put it back together. Since we've pre-tested the motor and stuff, we hopefully will have good function, and we can kind of wrap this project up. If you got any more questions, feel free to comment, and I'll try to answer them to the best of my abilities. Thanks.